My name is Kamran Asdar, and I'm a professor of anthropology at the University of Texas, Austin. Um, my interest in Pakistan lies from the fact that uh, I work on various aspects of Pakistani culture and society, starting from uh, labor history and popular culture and political economy and gender issues. Uh, Basically, the connection with critical Pakistan studies is precisely that myself and my colleagues, the other editors, are engaged with the study of Pakistan and in its very broad aspect in a different way than what the more sort of normative nationalist historiography or the more sort of way Pakistan is represented in terms of its politics and culture. We want to have a more sort of quote unquote critical engagement with that scholarship. Pakistan, in at least in the last few decades, have been has either been represented from a security lens, the war in Afghanistan, its sort of geopolitical status, or from another lens, which is very much generally thought of in terms of Muslim societies, which is gender and the issues of veiling and women, and which is all very good, but they represent or of the Islamic threat, which is part of the security thing. In economic terms, it's always sort of things as either a developing country or undeveloped. So these are the kind of broader thematic representational modes in which Pakistan has been talked about. But it's a very in our engagement with Pakistan and the kind of scholarship that we want to encourage to be published in our journal, or the kind of scholarship that the younger scholars working on Pakistan engagement is sort of looking at the diversity of Pakistani history and politics and culture. So, yes, gender, but then we can expand it to issues of gender and sexuality and the various ways that common people live lives. Or we talk about histories that have been hidden or unattended to, like labor history or history of peasantry or history of urban change, or even deeper history into British India, right, in which people of this area contributed to various kinds of struggles against colonialism. So, cinema has, or media studies has not yet received the kind of attendance outside certain kind of sociological ways of, counting numbers, this, that, but much more of an analytical and critical engagement in film or TV or other kinds of media studies. So it's that way of basically bringing in those interests, those ideas, those approaches that have up till now not been attended to in the scholarship of Pakistan. I'm not saying that what has been done is not very good, but I'm just saying that there are other areas that are what we call the unvoiced, hidden, and the unarticulated ways in which uh, people have people of Pakistan have lived their lives in all their varieties and all their complexities. We aspire to be a first rate, top tier journal which has high standards and rigor, but we want to publish material not only for their newness, but for their ideas that they bring to the table, which is engaged with the kind of theoretical, empirical, and arguments that are prevalent in the broader social science and humanities, the other social science and humanities, within various comparative fields, not only of area studies, but of thematic studies, whether it's gender studies, whether it's history, whether it's anthropology. So bringing those kinds of interests to the country itself. And again, when we think about Pakistan, we're not talking about only geographically. It's a broader issue and deeper, even historically deeper, in terms of pre-colonial, colonial kind of approaches. But going back to it, so we want to bring these sort of prevalent debates, theoretical and thematic, and discussions into the area of Pakistan studies, but match them with the kind of empirical uh, attention that people, scholars can give to the questions that they want to raise thematically, right? So there is a certain kind of way in which our the kind of scholarship we are interested in has to be empirically rich and also theoretically contribute to certain kinds of debates that are prevalent. So there is a comparative angle, not only in terms of geography, but also working in terms of thematic and theoretical debates in contemporary uh, social science and humanities. But we are also definitely interested also in humanities. It's not a kind of a hard social science journal either. No, this is a good question. I think what the impetus for the journal by some of us was, and or I should say the collectivity was, that in the last 20-25 years we have seen slowly and gradually an increase of scholars, not only from the global north, but from Pakistan and the region itself, uh, come into the field. So it's an emergent field, right? Historically, if there were social scientists who were doing Pakistan studies, they may have been economists or certain kind of political scientists. But now you have a range of people engaging with the region and the country, whether they're historians, anthropologists, sociologists, media studies, film studies, religious studies, gender and sexuality studies. So there is a range. And this is still a new crop. I would say it's the late 90s that you see some very young, talented people come into doing their graduate work and then getting their PhDs in the early to 2000s, and then now maturing into more sort of mid-career scholars. But then their students have come into it. Right? So now there are different. It's in a different generation, and they are sort of maturing or finishing their degrees. So working with these generations, one or two generations of younger scholars doing really exciting work, trained at some of the best places in the global north, United States or Europe, and engaged with friends and colleagues and mentors and scholarship that is has a wide range in terms of its dialogue. Working with them, talking to them, learning from them, and meeting them through this kind of process has been the most exciting.